He is my best friend on the grid. That was Verstappen's reply when asked who his friend was. The problem we have observed with the current drivers is that they have become overly friendly. What this often translates to is that they are losing that ruthlessness, that ability to get your elbows out which sets the good drivers from the great ones. Those drivers are too soft. They laugh all too much with all this bromance going on. And it seems they tend to carry this friendliness into the race. Apart from the older champions like Hamilton and Alonso, Max Verstappen is the guy who knows that at the end of the day, this is still a race, and he is willing to stab whatever friendship to win. Hamilton cooked him to become the tough driver he is today. Lando has probably learned his biggest lesson in Austria. Verstappen has clearly drilled it to his head that there is nothing like friendship in the sport. The pair might play paddle all day in Monaco and laugh at each other, but on the track, Max has shown him that winning is more important than friendship. The Dutchman came off that incident looking like the bad person, but we are glad that he did exactly that. Someone needed to remind the grid that this is a competitive sport and their friendliness is sometimes not needed. After the race, he said, "I don't know if it will affect our friendship. It depends what he says. If he says he did nothing wrong, then I'll lose a lot of respect for that. If he admits to being a bit stupid and running into me and being reckless, I'll have a bit more respect. I was trying to be fair from my side."
It's not for me to say, it's for him to say something. I did nothing wrong. He was the one in the wrong, so he's the one that should say something, not me.
Yeah, of course we'll talk about it. At the moment, I think it's not the right point. It's better to just let things cool off. I think whatever happened. But then I think where we touch, honestly, it just felt like it was a bit clumsy. As a friend, you never want to touch, you never want to crash. But yeah, it happened today. At the end of the day, it's part of racing as well.
Horner weighed in on the matter. He didn't behave correctly there, Max, so you were unlucky. It felt like Norris was trying to cause something up at turn 3. McLaren team principal Andrea Stella reacted that the whole world can clearly see who was at fault. For us, this incident is the best thing that has happened to the race for the championship. By virtue of this race alone, Norris has definitely aged by 10 years. And next time he would do well to remember that the fact he's a nice guy doesn't mean he would be treated nicely. His friendship with Max will never remain the same, and we love every bit of it. But we have some major talking points from the race. Yuki gets a €40,000 fine for foul language.
No, these guys are fucking retarded.
Okay, don't worry. Plenty of time.
The Japanese called his colleagues fucking retards for slowing him down in the pit lane. In some sense, the word retard means slow, so Yuki was not particularly wrong in his assessment. Piastri ruined the sprint race. In the 24-lap sprint, Lando consistently stayed within DRS of Max. But just after the overtake, he fumbled it by opening the door for Max to regain the lead. In the ensuing chaos, Piastri seized the opportunity to overtake Norris, but Oscar had no capacity to pursue Verstappen and wouldn't let his more capable teammate have another go at the Dutchman. Even though we like Oscar a lot, he completely ruined the rest of the sprint as Max quickly opened a 4 seconds gap. Checo is a mess. It is becoming apparent that Red Bull made a terrible decision. In Austria, Verstappen got a puncture, had a 10-second penalty, but somehow still finished ahead of the Mexican. Some have argued that Yuki should be the one in the second Red Bull car. Or bad luck for Leclerc. The Monegasque can do with some good fortune right now. Ever since his home win, Leclerc has been facing one issue or the other. He lost his wing early in Austria, which cost him the race. 595. This is the number of days since Russell's last win. The last time he won a race, which is also his first win, was in the 2022 Brazilian Grand Prix. George has gotten so used to being defeated that Toto had to wake him up. We would like to hear your thoughts in the comments. This is Front Lockout. Signing off.